Roach Koach Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Roach Koach Podcast, the journey to create the new metal canon. My name is Lorin Kozlowski. With me, as always, the original Roach Rider, Mr. Matt Nas.
Keep it rolling, baby.
We got a very special Who's Tweeting episode today.
Double down.
We've got two guests with us. Two guests. One, you know her, you love her. It's the Indigo Angel Jennifer Socia.
Hello.
And longtime friend, returning guest, Ashley Woolsey.
Yay.
We are talking about concert experiences today on the show because we've all been going to shows, except for you, Matt.
Right.
You've been strictly the theater of the mind.
You're right. Exactly. I put on Dream Theater and then I
boy.
just close my eyes and dream about turning it off.
Oh
Yeah.
boy,
Yeah.
that's tough, Matt. We got to get you out of the house, buddy.
Petrucci's a god.
Anyway, we have a lot of things to talk about today. The first thing we want to talk about is that, Ashley, you and I, a couple weeks ago, got to attend Louisville Loves Emo in Louisville, Kentucky at Headliners Music Hall. We were on the guest list. Let's brag about it a little bit.
Wow, you were a +1.
We get to go up and say, we're on the list. And they said, gonna need some ID. And we're like, we got
Wow.
it, baby. We got it.
prove
Here
it.
you go.
It felt very exclusive.
Let's walk it through, Ashley, this experience. These are the same gentlemen who, we just had them on the show. They put on Louisville Loves New Metal. We both went to that, had a great time. So we were kind of comparing and contrasting this evening to the New Metal night. Let's start with you. What was your overall on a Louisville Loves Emo night?
I had a good time. I definitely listened there. They played songs by bands that I haven't listened to in forever and ones that I completely forgot about until they started playing. So that was fun. Overall, I had a pretty good time.
Okay. I say, for me, there was a lot of music I did not know. We were going through the playlist. I was turning to you a lot going, what is this? Who is this? And you were giving me the education. And so I wrote down the set list here. They did 5 sets, you guys.
5 sets.
They did 5 sets.
Wow.
Okay. And
How long was each set? We're going to find out. I'm asking questions that are about to get answered.
Well, Matt, let me tell you. So we got there at 7:30. We parked because this is a crucial part of any experience.
You gotta talk
About the parking. We parked in Ashley's preferred spot, which was free, just around the corner. I missed it initially. She yelled at me. We found it eventually. We got it. It worked out. We get in there. It was, I'd say, a little fuller initially than the New Metal night.
Yeah, for sure. We got our same spots that we had at New Metal night, which is near the bar. And that night we had, I feel like, pretty good space around us at all times. But on the emo night, especially in the beginning, it was like really crowded. And Lauren kept moving to like go throw something away, and he wouldn't tell me and be like, you got to tell me, your spot's going to get taken. You have to let me know. There's people just swooping right in there.
Yeah, it was intense. We had to really lock down these spots at
Lauren.
Yeah, man.
Lauren.
How much stuff do you have to throw away?
Don't
Don't bring your garbage to shows.
Guys, listen, I don't want an illegal dump, so I take all of my old receipts to concerts and I throw them away
That's
there.
how you
Ashley-
get off the list. They're like, this guy just brings his trash to the show.
You
Listen.
already have a guest in the vehicle. Cleanup time has passed.
No, Matt, I saw a free range trash can, okay? And it was
Free
Wow.
Oh, it's one of those classic.
I was like, I had these
these.
old JC receipts. I'm like, now's the time. And she's like, where are you going? You're going to lose your spot. And I was like, free range trash can.
Yeah.
Anyway, they did 5 sets, you guys. Show ran 8. Started doors at 7. Show started, I'd say, right around 8:10. And ran till right around 11:15. So basically the same amount of time
Clockwork.
as the other one. They did run into a few issues, which we will talk about. So the first set, and I don't have all the bands, but there was it Foxbat was one band? Yes.
Yeah.
And Requiem was another band that played. They had rotating singers for all of the bands as they did before. I'll just run you through. This was the first set was A Day to Remember, the song The Downfall of Us All, Paramore Still Into You, Avenged Sevenfold Backcountry, Fall Out Boy Dance Dance, My Chemical Romance The Ghost of You, Fall Out Boy Saturday, Bring Me the Horizon, Can You Feel My Heart, and AFI Miss Murder. So that was the first set that happened there. Any highlights for that for you, Ashley, in that opening set?
I really enjoyed the Miss Murder just because I really was like into that song whenever it came out. I was, I don't know, 15, 14, somewhere around there. So that one was the one I had the most connection to. What was interesting, especially about that set, you can kind of tell the people who organize it, I think, are just slightly older than me, because what they listen to is a little different than what I listen to in like the emo scene. Like they listen to more like a lot more like Dashboard Confessionals, which comes later. And I listened to some of that, but like the music I listened to was more Panic at the Disco kind of era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, I was really blown away by the woman that did The Ghost of You, My Chemical Romance. She basically did like a gospel turn on it or something like that. It was pretty incredible. I was surprised that they did Still Into You by Paramore, which felt too new, even though it's a 10-year-old song.
Yeah, I also felt like, I mean, it's an upbeat song, but for the beginning of the show, I think they should have done one of the songs from Riot, like Crush, 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 or Misery Business or something. Then I think would have been a better option. I do like that song.
Yeah, when we had them on the show, I mean, they were talking about that they didn't want to repeat themselves. They wanted to try new things. And I can tell you that I totally respect that. And we got definitely some interesting choices here. But I can tell you that audience was primed for a Misery Business, because when the DJ played it in between sets, I was at the bar and it started and everyone around me flinched like, oh, it's happening. And then realized it was just the DJ. And then they stayed at the bar. Like, people want that song. Like, I think you could play that one every emo night and they'll be fine. No one's going to complain. Yeah. People love that track. I think the My Chemical Romance was probably the most impressive. I'm not an Avenged Sevenfold guy, but the rendition of Backcountry was pretty good. They did a male-female duet on that one. But it was definitely like, okay, we're getting a little bit more deep cutty. We're not doing all the obvious stuff. And the band sounded great. These bands, man. I mean, especially when they did Bring Me the Horizon, I'm like, you got keyboards, you got a lot of action going on in there. Nailed it. They had a little bit of technical difficulties at the end of Miss Murder. They pushed through. They got through. Set number 2, acoustic set. I believe the gentleman's name was Giler, and they did Dashboard Vindicated, Rise Again, Swing Life Away, and Death Cab, I Will Follow You Into the Dark. I mean, that one was basically based around like the sing-along part of it. I'm not a big Dashboard guy. How'd you feel about that one, Ashley?
I love that song. That's one of the Dashboard songs that I like was really obsessed with it and know every word to. So I really liked that one. And then we talked about it the night but the Death Cab for Cutie song, I love that song. It's like one of my favorite songs. I love Ben Gibbard. I know he's probably a douche, but I love him.
I feel the same way. Like, there's no way you don't suck, but
exactly.
Maybe he doesn't. I don't know.
He seems like he's probably a little insufferable, but he writes really good music, so
I
give it a
completely
pass.
agree. Yeah, if anybody knows Ben Gibbard personally,
and you
want to give an honest opinion,
no stands,
secretly,
honest opinion. All right,
all the Ben Gibbard stands come out of the woodwork.
Listen, they can't even see the keyboard because their bangs are all swooshy in their eyes. Still. So yeah, and then also I believe one of these sets was a song. I can't even remember the band anymore, Ashley, but you told me about it, and now I'm like obsessed with this song title, "The Curse of Curves."
Oh yeah, it's Cute Is What We Aim For.
What is the key line in there?
Like what the beginning?
Like you got he's got.
I've got the gift of one-liners, and you've got the curse of curves.
Isn't that just the male-female dynamic?
Oh, baby. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Yeah, that one they played the music video when they were trying to figure out their tech issues.
No, it was just straight up in between sets. Yeah.
Oh, just in between sets, yeah. And Lorin can attest, I knew every word to that song still. I loved loved them. Like they have 2 or 3 albums, and I probably know every single song on the album still. Like I listen to it so much.
I have never heard of this song. I have never heard of the band. I looked up Curse of Curves, hit enter, and the picture that shows up from Google of this guy is like very much of a time and of a place.
Yep, it sure is.
I'm like, who is this beautiful man? This swoopy hair.
And the whole music video is just them sitting at a long table, like with drinks in their hand, and they're just sitting, and that's the entire music video.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's sitting there. He sings the whole song like that, holding the drink. It's incredible. It's incredible. And meanwhile, it keeps cutting to this woman who just keeps looking angrier and angrier and angrier as the video goes on, as he's just singing, like, you got the Curse of Curves, and she's like, oh, I'm so mad.
Wow, that's relatable.
Yeah. How many dinners have we been to?
Dinner at the Socia house. That's what Mitch always says to me.
Because he keeps trying to zing you. What?
Oh, yeah. No.
Did he get you through all that negging? Was that what it was?
Oh, yeah.
He was a big pickup artist.
He wore like really interesting textures. He had a black light in his pocket.
He kept peacocking.
Oh, yeah. He continues to peacock.
Oh, yeah.
Can't.
He just randomly steampunks out of nowhere.
A lot of goggles in the social
Tons
household.
of goggles, lots of top hats.
Frightening, yeah. Sometimes just a big like bird mask. I'm like, whoa, all right.
Feather boa for no reason.
Good.
Your daughter's super into it.
Oh, she loves it. She's like, more goggles, Daddy.
Yeah, those were her first words.
Set three of the night was Foxbat. This was the rundown. Taking Back Sunday, Cute without the E, cut from the team.
My favorite.
Coheed and Cambria, A Favorite House Atlantic.
Love that one.
Panic at the Disco, Lying is the most fun a girl can have without taking her clothes off. Jimmy Eat World, Sweetness. Under Oath, Writing on the Wall. Chiodos, Baby You Wouldn't Last a Minute on the Creek. The Used, The Taste of Ink, and Say Anything, Alive with the Glory of Love. This was a very up and down set for me. Peaks and valleys in regards to just my personal taste. I would say just about everybody did the work. The woman who did Coheed, I'm not a Coheed person, and this woman came out and she's like, this is my favorite band, and then she crushed it. The guy who came out and did Jimmy Eat World, Sweetness, there was a brief moment where I'm like, this guy peaked the night too early. Because 1, it's Sweetness, and 2, he crushed it. I mean, we were kind of like, after that, and there was a brief moment where like, how do they follow that? And then they did an Under Oath song, and I'm like, I don't know this song. So for me, that was kind of like an up and down. But I could tell once again, they were dipping into all sorts of
nooks and crannies.
Like they weren't doing the obvious stuff. So I kept having to go like, they're doing deeper cuts. If you're like in the scene, it's like you're not just rolling in and getting like Fall Out Boy, the obvious ones. Like you're getting Chiodos.
Yeah, and I think it's since we didn't attend, sadly, the other emo night, we don't know what they have played before. So, like I said, they're probably, going for deep cuts because they don't want to repeat stuff. So all this stuff, we're like, oh, I wonder why they didn't play this. They probably played at one of the first 3 or 4 or whatever, many that they've had.
Yeah. So the Jimmy Eat World part, really kind of a real highlight. Also, I wrote in my notes that the Used performance of The Taste of Ink that they ate. These are notes I took while at it.
Wow.
I did have what were we drinking?
This set I feel like was had a lot of really good like performances. Like out of all the sets, this is probably the one that had like the most in a row that I was, oh my god, like they're phenomenal. They're doing really good, and they were doing really hard songs.
Yeah. We were drinking what was it? High Noons.
Yeah.
A lot of they did not have any White Claws. Tough.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
I'm praying for you in your time of
Thank
difficulty.
you. I went and got drinks, and she goes, "Oh, High Noons." I'm like, they didn't have any White Claws. So,
wow.
Yeah,
that's a hard time.
It's tough. Yeah,
there are no laws.
Then I went to
drinking claws.
I mean, it was tough for her. I mean, it was really tough for Ashley. I put her through it that night because then I walked away to throw a bunch of JC receipts away, and she was like, "Where is it going?"
It sounds like a hard night.
Yeah, it sounds like you out of the corner of your eye, you saw a free range trash can. You're like, gotta go.
It was just sitting there. No one was using it, you guys. I cannot stress. This thing was open. You could see the bottom. It was like a fresh bag.
Fresh bag.
Fresh bag.
I love a fresh bag.
Ignore a fresh bag?
Wow. I love that came up. That's beautiful.
Yeah, they closed with Say Anything Alive with the Glory of Love. They once again had some weird technical difficulties. They pushed through. There is video of me singing along with this that I took a bunch of videos and posted on the Instagram. You can hear me so clearly on these videos that I have not posted them because no one needs that.
I was so self-conscious anytime you'd pull your phone out. Because I was singing along to a lot of the songs, and then I would just be like, it looks so like I don't want to be in the background of that video.
I'm loud and clear on that one, but yeah, I'm not. People don't need to hear me on that one. Then set 4 was another acoustic set. Plain White Tees, Hey There Delilah, Avril Lavigne Complicated, Paramore The Only Exception. This one,
she did really great.
Yeah,
I loved this acoustic set. It was really, really good.
Yeah, she really brought it home. The audience was there for Hey There Delilah. Like they like did a circle, everybody joining hands, locking arms. Always happy to hear Complicated, an all timer, and Paramore Only Exception. That's one of their, I think, best ballads. So takes us in to set 5. The Used, Pretty Handsome Awkward, Paramore Decode, Panic at the Disco, I Write Sins Not Tragedies, Head Automatica, Beating Heart Baby, 30 Seconds to Mars, The Kill, Taking Back Sunday, Make Damn Sure, Pierce the Veil, King for a Day, and the finale, My Chemical Romance, Teenagers. Ashley, how'd you feel about set 5?
Well, I liked how they ended with Teenagers and not like Welcome to the Black Parade. It's nice to hear a different My Chemical Romance song every now and then than that one. And they had a balloon drop, and that was really fun. And then, I have some nostalgic feelings for the Kill. Lorin kept calling it my favorite song.
It is your favorite song by your favorite band.
I really like that song. Yeah, by my favorite band. I'm a huge 30 Seconds to Mars fan. Not really, but I did like that song whenever it came out. And I remember the music video for that song was like 15 minutes long or something ridiculous. And it was like Jared Leto with a samurai sword or something.
Jared Leto went over the top on something?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that so unlike him?
He did a little too much. Very unlike him. Yeah.
What a wonderful, weird human being.
The Used song that they opented with, neither of us recognized, but then we were immediately like, this is the crusher of the night. Like that was, I'd say, like the most like pit activated. Yeah. The singer
for that was like the exact voice that you want to hear, like do an emo song. He had it. It was great. It's the Used I liked a lot, but it was like one specific album, and I was thinking about it, and it's really because when emo music was like at its peak, I was very young and had no money, so I was relying on the library and what my friends had. So it was like a very limited type of like selection of music that I had. So it's like, oh, I loved the Used, but only this one album because it's the only album that I could find. But once it started, I was like, oh yeah, I have heard this song before. But yeah, that guy's voice was killer. He did such a good job.
Yeah, he was great. Paramore Decode, let me tell you, the Twilight heads lost their shit.
They did.
Right.
They went bananas. Matt, are you familiar with Decode?
I am not.
Well, it's in the first Twilight, and if you drop it for the right demo, they're gonna lose their goddamn minds.
Matt, you've probably heard it because I've never seen the Twilight movies, so I didn't know that it was in that movie. And Lorin had been like, "Oh yeah, they'll play the Twilight song," and I was like, "What's the Twilight song? Like, what are you talking about?" But once it played, I was like, oh yeah, I fucking know this song.
I missed this one in its entirety.
Matt, that dingly guitar started, and people were like, get away from that free range trash can. Get to the front of the stage.
True.
Decode is happening. People are amped. The Panic at the Disco song. This was part of a contest they had that night for one person to do karaoke to a song. This woman picked this song, and she knocked it out of the GD park.
Wow. She didn't pick it. They picked it.
Oh, I thought she picked it. Oh, okay.
No,
well, okay.
Because they were saying that they said it's a tricky thing to do because you have to find a song that's everyone knows, which is difficult in that genre, and a song that is plausibly singable, which is also difficult in the genre because it's so a lot of the songs are sung so high that it's hard to find people who can actually sing them. And so that's why they picked that song.
Yeah. And then Jess, she came out, and I mean, at one point she didn't even need, they had the lyrics on the screen behind her, and then I think she didn't even need them anymore. And she had a top hat. She was really great.
And she had like a surprising amount of stage presence for someone who was just like pulled out of the audience. Like she was really, really good.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry. Did you say she had a top hat on?
She had top hat.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
was she peacocking?
Then the guy said that he did not give her the top hat. It was her top hat.
Then we can't be surprised at her stage presence.
And a jacket. She had like in the Panic at the Disco Since That Tragedy video where he's wearing like he's dressed like a circus ringleader. It was like a jacket like that and a top hat. So maybe they do the same karaoke song every time. I don't know.
So she's wearing a quarter coat with tails, with epaulets, and a top hat.
Correct.
Yeah, basically.
Killer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like
Chef's
this
kiss.
picture. This is very different from what I was picturing. I like it.
When they did Head Automatica Beating Heart Baby, I was very excited because I love Head Automatica. And the vibe in the room was once again, yes, Lorin, you love Head Automatica. I was like, man alive, Head Automatica. And then I had been playing some of these songs for Amy, and she said to me that anything she heard with Dara Palumbo's voice, she said, this man needs to stop working. She was so anti his voice. It was amazing.
Who is that?
Daryl Palumbo?
I don't know who that
from
is.
Glassjaw.
Oh, never mind. I totally know who that is. You listen to their Let women be bad at their jobs, Lorin.
All right.
Don't worry.
Let me be bad at my job.
I was over here practicing the spiral of silence.
Jenny's like, Daryl Palumbo? Sorry, not familiar. I'm Jenny, I'm gonna let you fill up all goddamn
Thank you.
day.
Thank you. Right to the top.
Right to the top. Yeah, we talked about 30 Seconds to Mars, Ashley's favorite band, and their favorite song, The Kill. I believe that 15-minute music video is a recreation of The Shining. I believe that's what that is.
I don't think so. I remember there being like samurais and stuff, and I don't remember.
I'm not saying it's a shot for shot. I'm saying that, like, listen, if Jared Leto's going to redo The Shining, he's like, you know what this fucking thing needs? Samurais. Get that saggy old lady out of that bathroom.
And just put swords in there.
Sit with some swords. Listen, that's a glass sword.
Yeah. It's a tarot card.
That's the thing. That's why you don't go back to your house after you sell it, all right? Because you might have this room, and it was this beautiful room. Maybe that's where like your baby lived, the baby's crib was, and then you go in it now, and some bachelor took it, and it's full of his swords now. You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This used to be a nursery. Now it's a bathtub full of swords.
That's right.
That's an emo lyric.
Yeah. Write this down.
That's
Oh God, my hand broke. I can't.
Take You Back Sunday, make damn sure. That was an immediate everyone up, everyone off the bar, off the walls. We're here, we're ready, we're hyped. Pierce the Veil, King for a Day. Don't know the song. Don't know this band. Pierce the Veil?
I've heard of them, but I'm not familiar.
Neither.
That's the same. I've with them, but I was like, I don't know the song.
Yeah, these guys went super hard, all the same. I was like, all right, they know it, they're in it. And then My Chemical Romance Teenagers, they did the balloon drop. People were into it, they loved it. As Ashley said, I was thrilled that it was a different My Chemical Romance song. I was like, yeah, they got a few. They got a few. And then we were on our merry way, and then we went to the back door, and I got a quesadilla.
All right.
Yeah. And that was the night. Overall, they ran into a couple technical difficulties, but they rallied. The audience was there. I'd say they retained the audience for the whole night, for the most part. And
yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, for me, it felt a little long, but I complain about the length of everything, like movies. I'm like, they're too long. Everything's too long now. So I would even say books are too long. I just like to complain about how long things. So maybe if they would have shaved a half hour off of it, that would have been optimal for me. But they had so many good songs to fit in. I get it, and they're giving people their money's worth. So That's important.
It's very true. Yeah. You definitely got your money's worth with it. And the vibe was good. I would say I didn't really see anybody from Nu Metal Night. There didn't seem to be a ton of overlap.
No, yeah, I don't think so. Except for a couple of the musicians that we recognized. But there's definitely more women in this crowd, which is a surprise, I don't think, to anybody. But there's young kids again there, which again, it's kind of surprising. And there was like a good chunk of like teenagers, which I wasn't expecting them to be like, listening to emo music. Like, it doesn't seem like it's throwbacky enough for teens to be listening to it, but they were there and they were debating the pit and all the stuff in the middle.
Yeah, they were the young people. They're they're coming out.
The youth.
Gene
Simmons.
One thing we haven't talked about that was in the beginning a little bit much was the fog. Was
yes.
Control for the first half. They finally adjusted it, and the second half it was fine. But at one point, I turned to Lauren. I'm like, I can't even see the stage because there's so much fog in this room right now.
You got blasted with the rock fog.
They rock fogged it a lot, and I was like, "This is." And then I think, when the I think the guy went up to do Miss Murder, he was like, "I know you're out there, I just can't see you," because it was so much. And then I think, actually, I think you went to the bathroom. You said it was even in the bathroom. The bathroom.
It was fog city in there.
So they tamped it down a little bit. But listen. You're hyped. You're getting excited. You're running through the opening of the set. You're back there just holding that fog button down. And then somebody just got a radio like, Jim, lead.
Back off the fog.
Back off the fog, buddy.
We're taking dramatic
Love
keys.
the enthusiasm, but, step off of it a little bit. No one can breathe or the fire alarm's about to go off.
Yeah.
Great effort, but it's now rock smog.
Yeah. So overall, a very good time. I definitely want to go to the next one. Now, just knowing that the level of deep cuts, it really does, it's exciting, and I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know what they're going to give us next. And but I do think, my one was do Misery Business. The people want it. The people need it. Their bodies are shaking. Also, the other one, Ashley, that you said they definitely should do is Metro Station, Shake It. That also lit.
Oh my God. Yeah, they played the music video in between one of the sets, and I was so excited. I love Metro Station back in the day, and every word of that song I knew. And I would say most people, everyone was like dancing and move. Like that was a crowd pleaser when they played it.
Yeah, people were definitely jumping around, getting crazy. So, So overall, another winner of a night for the Louisville Loves team. Louisville Loves Emo. They nailed it. Louisville Loves Nu Metal. They nailed it. What genre next? They're threatening ska. I don't know if I'm going to go to that one.
You have to.
I have to now?
You have to.
I have to go to that one?
Maybe I have to go to that
I
one.
think that's you and me, Jenny.
Yeah, I think we have to go to Louisville.
And we'll give you a report.
Get us on the list. I'll tell you.
Well, wait. Okay, hold on. Do we think they're going to have free-range trash cans at that one?
You never know.
Okay, all right. I'll go. Because let me tell you, I got a bunch. Listen, receipts, they just keep coming. I keep buying stuff, and they just keep filling my, my console in my car. So
after going to this one, though, I am interested for the next Louisville Loves Nu Metal, just to see if they go deep cuts with that one, and if I would know any of those songs at all, because my knowledge of nu metal is only through this show, really. And so it's all the ones that all the bands and songs that everybody knows. So if they get into any deep cut Limp Bizkit or whoever, I'm gonna be I don't know what this is.
Right.
Yeah. Well, then I'll have to. Then you'll have to turn to us for guidance. I'll be I'll be like, this song's called Nookie.
Real deep cut.
Super deep cut.
Super deep. Well, Ashley, I know you've got a role. Thank you so much for coming on to talk about
thanks for having me again.
Absolutely, yeah. And we'll have you on back soon for our not yet announced exciting 2024 features.
That's right.
All right. Okay.
Woo.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
The next thing we need to talk about is, Jenny, you have also been going to shows.
I have been.
First question. What's the trash can situation over there?
it seemed like there was a lot of trash cans at each show.
Oh man.
I didn't throw much away.
Okay. All right.
Pretty
Okay.
regular garbage pickup where I live. Not to brag.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
they show up early or on time to pick up your trash at the Kurt?
Mm-hmm. It's
Wow.
my tax dollars at work. Yeah.
Classic must be nice.
Must be nice.
It is nice.
Must
It's
be nice.
Really nice.
All right. So at this concert, along with incredible trash cans, you
Yes.
also saw 2 legends.
Yes.
Which one would you like to start with?
We'll go in chronological order.
Okay.
Which the first legend I saw was Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey.
Yes.
Was it just a year ago or 2 years ago that we did the Mariah episode?
I believe it was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe if you started listening to it 2 years ago, you're just about getting done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was, she does a Christmas tour, basically. That is, holiday themed. I guess she's the Queen of Christmas,
That's what I'm hearing. When did that pivot happen? She was not the Queen of Christmas when we were children.
I don't know, but it seems to be like very cemented. So I'm guessing I was just experiencing her in a different way, and that was happening.
Well, it is that thing of All I Want for Christmas Is You crossed a border. Like, it was already a good Christmas song in the 90s when
Correct.
it came out.
90s, yes.
But then, like, Christmas songs come back every year. So it's like 30 years later, you're hearing the song and it reminds you of your childhood Christmases. And it's like, oh, yeah, this is our white Christmas. Like, this is literally our white Christmas.
Could I take one slightly marketplace/cynical take on this?
Ooh.
Which is that Mariah Carey was not moving the units with new music anymore and needed to pivot. And this is like a good way to be basically relevant every year without having to take the chance on like new albums. Because I don't think she's put a new album of like her pop music out since like 2018.
It's been a long time. I'm going to go somewhere in the middle of what you all are saying. And I just think she saw an opportunity and made a smart decision about it.
Mariah Carey classically knows how to put food on her family.
Oh, yeah. Her whole family was there. All her kids were in the show. They all had their own parts, and some of them sang with her, and some of them had like a band. One of them came out like rapping. They were dancing. So it was a family affair. Yeah, I mean, she was probably like, if I say I'm the Queen of Christmas, here I come every year. It's easy money, and good for her because she knows what she's worth, and that came through loud and fucking clear at the show. It was incredible. She took her fucking time. I know Lorin, I'll tell you right now, if you're ever sitting next to me and you have a screen up, I'm going to read whatever's on your screen. I have no respect. I can't help myself.
I get it.
So I was reading Lorin's list from Louisville Loves Emo, and it made me laugh because it was like in parentheses next to some of the songs, like technical difficulties. Mariah did have a little bit of technical difficulty at the top, and the way she handled it was just like, I don't know, like it's to see a diva like that in action was incredible. Because like you see Beyonce and she's like working her ass off.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mariah was definitely not. She was like, I am moving slowly. I have somebody walking next to me at all time holding my hands. I'll have my glam come out and touch me up. I'll just walk away in the middle of a song while other people are dancing to change my shirt slowly. Like, she was just like, okay, I'm here. That's what you get. Like, you know what you're getting. And
everything
was like,
purposeful, everything with intent, but nothing in a rush.
Oh no. There was no rushing whatsoever.
True pageantry.
Yes. She apparently was having some technical difficulties with one of her like earbuds or whatever. I don't know what happens in these shows, but she was just like, something scary's happening. I'm not hearing myself in my left ear. Is anybody working tonight? We're hearing feedback. We don't want this kind of feedback. We only want good feedback. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, it was like, the way that she handled it was so funny to me. It was like, oh, it was amazing. she did like lots of like very like, you know, religious Christmas songs. I think she's a pretty religious person. She also did like a lot of her just like normal songs, like which I wasn't expecting to get any of them. So she did,
wow. So she did a medley.
She did a medley. Yes.
Yeah, we have the medley here. Always Be My Baby, Dream Lover, Honey, Heartbreaker, A No-No, It's a Wrap, Emotions, Make It Happen, and Fly Like a Bird, which then ran into We Belong Together, into Hero.
Yes. And her daughter sang Hero with her, which was really cute. And you know, I know that we had like a contested quality of We Belong Together conversation in the last Mariah show, which made me laugh because it was amazing and I was so glad that she played it. Yeah, she was just like a true diva. Apparently her piano player is from Battle Creek, Michigan, and so she just kept saying "Born in Battle Creek, Michigan," like repeatedly. And so I felt really bad for the people sitting next to me because so we went with like a small group of friends, but I was on the end next to two people who were really just there to like ring in the holiday season. They were very subdued and, you know, they just seemed like they were there to be like, Christmas is upon us. And I was just cackling at everything because everything was like over the top and ridiculously funny to me. But like, I understand from their perspective why it wouldn't be. So I was just like loudly cackling the whole time. And the people sitting directly behind me, I could hear them talking the whole time. And the woman kept like kind of singing along, giving like little like, like coming along with it. And they would talk about what was happening on stage. They were talking with a keyboard player. They was like, lovely player. Yes, he's what did they say? Like he really knows his way with his hands or something like that. And it was like,
Wow.
was so I was just losing my mind the whole time. And also it was at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, which the amount that I was willing to pay for tickets, I said it has to be like under $150.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, you had to be really high. And at Little Caesars Arena, if you are not rich, the steepness of it is just so intense. So the first like half of the show, I was trying not to like cry or vomit while all of this was happening around me. So I was just laughing because that's how I deal with any emotion. So the poor people next to me probably were, you know, wondering what was going on.
I mean, I do like that, just tying this a little bit into when we went to Disturbed, where we were also crying, laughing, cackling, and being worried about people being mad at us. Maybe that's just us at shows now.
Yes.
Like, we're just reacting wrong, and then we're like, someone's going to kill us. Be it at Disturbed or Mariah. Like,
I was completely sober, so there was that. Although I will say I had a big old gelato that was incredibly good. Incredibly good. Better than it had any business being.
Wow.
The group agreed.
Okay.
It was banging gelato. It was
Go whoop that gelato.
We went with a group of friends that I know well and one person that I know a bit less well. He and I got gelato, and it was like a caramel apple cheesecake gelato. And he and I were both just like, I mean, I think we're forever bonded over the gelato. So it was really wonderful. It was a great time. She was gorgeous and fantastic and barely moved a muscle. And like, I just really appreciated that. So, you know, that was my Mariah experience.
I love it.
Wow. I love that. How did you feel about the fact that so you went in expecting no like pop songs? You expected a full Christmas concert.
Expected a full Christmas set.
A pageant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So any that you got were like, oh, this is an extra treat.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So you see that show. Then you're like, I'm not done with shows.
No.
Another show.
I'm just getting warmed up.
I'm just getting warmed up. So then I went to see Geddy Lee's book tour. Which was an evening in conversation with Geddy Lee with special guest interviewers. It was at the Fillmore in Detroit, which is a much smaller venue. I used to work there.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to be back there thinking if I still lived here. I still worked here. Maybe I could have met Geddy Lee, but probably not. It was great. His special guest interview was, oh boy, why am I? The drummer from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Chad Smith.
Chad Smith, yeah. So Chad Smith comes out, and it was such an interesting dynamic. Like, just two completely different energies. Like, Chad Smith is like a fucking bro. He's like a party. You can tell that he is like partied harder than anything. Huge bro. And then Geddy Lee is like
this intellectual, soft-spoken.
He's just like, yeah, like a smart, humble, like just nerdy, you know, like, I mean, seeing this was like, it was just amazing. I was so happy. Mitch came with me. Everything that I would have hoped Geddy Lee was, he was. It's just like, he was talking about Neil Peart. I always say Neil Peart. I've been wrong. I think I knew that, but he was like, Chad Smith like asked him like, oh, like what is like your favorite thing about him? And he basically was saying that like just how humble he was. And I was like, wow, like what a thing to pick out about this person who's like considered one of like the greatest drummers of all time. He's just always really humble. He was never above learning different styles or, you know, it was just like great. He talked a lot about how like, you know, he really kind of like fucked up his relationship and marriage early on, and they had to make a decision about whether they were going to make it work or not because he was so like into the band. He was gone all the time and she was at home with their children, and like she had like her career ambitions. She had to put things on hold, and he didn't like respect that, you know, in the way that he felt he should have, which like who knows what that looks like for him. But
right.
I don't know. It was just like a really interesting thing. Chad Smith, not quite the interviewer you might hope, but the dynamic was super funny. Yeah, it was interesting. He told all these stories that I feel like he definitely shouldn't have told, mostly about like Alex Lifeson getting like super hammered with like him and Sammy Hagar. And like
those sound like stories you gotta tell.
Yeah, he was just like, oh man, like Alex could barely stand, and you know, like I wasn't really drinking. I don't know if like he's like sober now or something, but
I mean they all tend to be now.
I mean, or else you just fucking die.
Right.
He's like, him and Sammy were just fucking trash.
Lost tequila, you know.
That's what he was saying. He's like, you know, Sammy's always got his tequila, and like Geddy Lee's face while he's telling the story is kind of like, And then, yeah, he was talking about how, like, they went up to, like, Sammy's hotel room. And the next morning, like, when they all got back together, one of the security guards was like, yeah, I went into Sammy's hotel room. And there was a pizza on the bed with, like, one bite gnawed out of it. Sammy was asleep. There was an adult film on the TV. And Alex Lifeson was crouched in the corner. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And then they were, like, talking about how Alex had all these, like, intestinal problems. I'm just like.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know what stories we're supposed to be telling here. But I will say that Chad Smith really came through when they did the audience Q&A, because he just was like kind of like lightly roasting like just like some of the nerdier type of stuff, which was really funny to me. But I thought it was a really cool experience. I'm glad I got to go. Geddy Lee, a true gem. Little David Bottrell talk. David Bottrell.
The trill is gone.
Yeah, Geddy Lee released 2 songs that he hadn't released from his solo record. But it was released like earlier this week, and David Bottrell, I think, like mixed and mastered them.
Oh.
Apparently they're great friends.
I love it.
So
I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about working with Bottrell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we've all gone to some shows. Well, Matt, you haven't. Theater of the Mind purely.
Yep.
But
Dream Theater of the Mind.
We can announce here that in July 2024.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Huge announcement.
The coach will be in attendance at Limp Bizkit's Loserville 2024. We're going to be on the lawn, everybody.
Yeah, you can see us along with thousands of other fans who paid for lawn tickets.
That's right. We looked at the cost of other tickets and we said, lawn it is.
Except for me, I am in the pit.
Matt's
going to
be
$400.
Actually,
Yeah.
Matt, if you did the pre-sale, the pit was only $150.
Well, it was $250 yesterday.
Yeah,
at launch.
At launch.
The pit was only $150.
Yeah,
Oh,
I sent you this information.
I
You've been having a busy week. I understand.
didn't look at it. Okay.
I love it.
Listen,
I
I'll
love
be honest. I didn't look at it.
Oh.
I was like, I think it's going to be a $25 all-in ticket. I don't want to pay for it. And Lauren, you were like, just take it.
Yeah, well, I also didn't say, hey, get me one, guys. So we all did great this week.
Wow. All right. Listen, it's called Loserville. I think we're living the theme.
That's right.
That's right.
Lessons learned.
Right.
This lineup is nuts, by the way.
Nuts. It's nuts. Let me pull it up here.
So I don't know a lot of the people on this. I mean, I do know some of them.
All right. So the one that everyone's talking about is that Corey Feldman
Right.
is the first opener with it.
Now, the last time Corey Feldman was in Michigan, we'll note that he was at the Token Lounge in Westland, Michigan, aka the site of my 10-year high school reunion.
That's right.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
I'm glad that for him that he's coming back to something a little better. Although I think he might be bad.
So we've all watched some level of Corey Feldman live performance
Yes.
online. All tough, some hilarious, some not.
Oh, I meant like as a person.
Oh.
Performance wise, I'm not even.
Oh, okay.
I don't care.
Oh.
But just like as a human being, all that Corey's Angel stuff seems pretty like you don't know Corey's
Oh no, I'm
Okay.
aware of it. I'm just trying to think like you're talking about
What's
this.
bad about
What's
it?
bad about this man employing these women? I mean, they're putting food on their families. He's giving them clothes to wear.
He's putting them
He's
on
picking
fruit
them-
diets.
He's helping them out.
They have a
Yeah.
lot of gummies.
Yeah,
They got a lot of
they wouldn't
gummies.
have any other way to get to Hollywood, so he's giving them that opportunity.
Absolutely,
by
he knows
paying
about
them.
it. He knows about it. He was in License to Drive and the Goonies.
There is nothing to be concerned about there. That sounds completely normal.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Totally normal.
no. Yeah. There's no way there's going to be like a limited series about this.
No.
Several years.
So Corey Feldman is one of the openers.
Mhm.
Also, an act called Bones with Eddie Baker and Xavier Wolf.
That's straight ahead hip hop. I took a look at one of their festival sets this year.
Mm-hmm.
Very much hip hop act.
Okay.
Okay.
Nate.
Yep, Nate No Face.
Nate No Face.
This guy is bonkers. This is very much like not a Reddy Watts, but like in that ilk of me, Laptop, Looper, Distortion, Mark Ribier, like that type of thing, but like way more aggressive. So it's all that meets Death Grips. And I'm interested to see how it is received.
I think it's going to be like, I saw somebody say like, I'm not a big fan of these openers. I'm like, whoever is a big fan of the openers? I'm like, you're going for the Bizkit, babe.
That's true.
Bizkit could announce, we're going on tour. Our openers are Fart Noise and Fart Machine. Okay.
Oh,
And I'd
love
be-
Fart Machine.
And I'd be like, okay, that's fine. You go, you get some food, or you show up a little later, then you see Limp Bizkit. I feel like the quality of these openers, not relevant. You know,
Yeah, that's fair.
that's how I feel.
What about the quality of the host and MC?
The host and MC is one
Whoa.
Riff Raff.
The
That's
neon
right.
icon.
2012 back.
Okay.
Right?
Good for
Wow.
him. I'm glad that he's like still alive.
Still alive.
Yeah,
and
very much so.
So him hosting, I mean, I guess that means that we're going to be treated to some incredible banter in
Mm.
between sets.
They should get Janelle from Teen Mom to come MC their next tour.
Wait, they should get. No, she's probably too expensive now. Was it Bad Barbie? Get her.
Oh yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think she's probably.
Yeah, she's probably retired. But then most importantly, Limp Bizkit's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Interesting.
I've been watching. I watched. If you go on YouTube, there is a pretty good quality video of their Tokyo set, and the boys crush. They crush. It's unbelievable.
They've got it locked down. We received an email of someone who's seen them while they've been overseas, and they're like opening with break stuff, closing with break stuff.
There we go.
Yeah, and we got a message, and they said basically they were bringing the heat. Like you said, the audience was hyped the whole show. They said the energy level never dipped. it was always intense. So I can't wait. Plus, let's not overlook this. Team fries.
True.
100%.
We're going to get team fries. So if you are around Roach Koach Meetup 2024, say hello to us. See the Bizkit
Yeah.
on the lawn.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're saying. Lawn. And them seats. We're down with the people.
That's
Up
right.
with the people. Wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for my bougie ass who's going to be in the pit.
Matt will be in the pit. Yeah. And then,
There's no fucking way I'm going to be in the pit.
yeah.
I'll be with you on the lawn.
And then, you know what? I haven't checked this out before, but I want to check out the trash can situation here. Especially, we're going to be getting there early to get a good spot. So I'll go to see those trash cans when they are fresh.
I mean, we did stand next to the trash can at Disturbed.
We did.
So
Mm-hmm.
Great location.
Great location.
Yeah.
Listen, anytime, you don't lose your spot if you're right next to it.
That's
okay?
right.
That thinking
You did really well, Papa.
Yeah.
yeah.
So lots to look forward to in 2024. And, that just brings us to the end of another episode of Roach Koach. A big thank you to Ashley for coming on to talk. A big thank you to Brian and Zach of Louisville Loves Emo
100%.
for putting us on the list and getting us in. We had a great time, and we hope to be back for the next one. Jenny, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
To
you
tell
bet.
us all about that. And then I guess will we see you next week?
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
All right. Perfect. Okay. We'll see you next week then. And until next time. Did I say we're
You
on
said next week.
next week? What am I even saying?
No way, man.
Let me do it all over
Will we
again.
see you again soon?
We'll see you again soon. We'll see you again next week. Either way, say hello to us online: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Roach Koach, and all those. Send us an email: roachkoachpodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, Matt, thank you.
Lorin, thank you.
Jenny and Ashley, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Roach Koach
Podcast.
Hot all day, every day. It's the Roach Koach
Podcast.
all day, every day.